Hi, this is Sal Tuzzolino, host and ringmaster of the Sports Circus, the big top of sports talk radio. Did you hear this?
Hey, Sal, I'm sitting on my elephant stop here on your circus, man.
Nice. Nice. Get off my elephant.
Hey, they were just over next to the Tigers. They had the fire rings, but I just thought I'd just jump on the elephant and come on in.
Clown around with us and stream the show online at thesportcircus.com. Join me, the human cannibal, Sideshow Bob, and Super Bowl champion defensive back from the San Francisco 49ers, Toy Cook, this Saturday morning at 6 on Fox Sports Radio 1340. And welcome back to the final segment for the Sports Circus here at WCOBM. You can also catch the Sports Circus Saturday morning edition on Fox Sports Radio 1340. That would be AM 1430 KL or KRLV. Let's see if I can spit that one out. And also you can stream the show live at thesportcircus.com. We're going to finish up with baseball because, pitchers and catchers are reporting in about 1 month, and there's been some really good moves, I think, in the offseason. There are some teams that have really missed the boat, and I think the Pittsburgh Pirates really missed the boat, and they still have a chance to make a splash with a couple of free agents that are out there. I'm not really a big free agent guy. That's, teams buy championships, so we saw the Cubs do that just a few months back. They did bring some players up, but they basically bought their championship, and let's face it, they're now the evil empire of the National League. So the Pirates need to make a move. They still have some tools to work with. I know they've got Meadows. They have McCutchen to work with. They need some pitching. Quintana's still available from the White Sox. Might be a good move to pick him up, whatever the cost is. You have to stay close. You have to at least be in the wild card discussion, and I think that could get them to where they need to be. McCutchen will probably have a bounce-back year. The White Sox will probably take prospects because they've been getting well on prospects from Boston, from Washington, and other moves that they've made. They're developing some good talent. Watch and see the moves that they make, and don't be surprised if Pittsburgh, possibly the Cincinnati Reds, are in the market also for Quintana. And frankly, you could also see the Toronto Blue Jays try to do something with him as well. Let's face it, they lost a lot of productivity with Encarnacion to Cleveland, and if you're not going to put a player in that's going to produce, you're going to have to put a player in the lineup somewhere that's going to prevent the scoring of runs, and I think Quintana's a really good fit there as well. So all these players, we talk about development, we talk about bringing them up through the system, we talk about developing kids from ages 8 to 18 and getting them to the next level. And I know when I was a Little League player, I was on the worst team in the history of the league. We won 1 game out of 20. It was my first year. I played on a team called Denko Insurance. I'll never forget this. It was awful. So at that time, I was a pretty good pitcher, and I had no confidence in the 7 guys behind me. So I felt like I had to strike everybody out. Nobody really taught me how to throw a ball and really pitch until I got into high school. I was very fortunate to have a cousin who played for the Boston Braves for 10 years and an uncle that played in the Brooklyn Dodgers organization to help me as I got older. But I got to tell you, a lot of these kids today, they fall into a situation where they rely on the part-time warriors to help them. They're volunteer coaches or whatnot. Basically, people, some players are very fortunate. They have great tutelage. But most of your Little League coaches, etc., even the high school coaches, they're not very good. And so needing good development, good guidance, good advice on how to go about getting yourself to the next level is what 2-4 Sports Network and Stars and Stripes Network is all about. These organizations take hard data. They are a measuring stick to the colleges and universities and the teams at the next level. And let's face it, their quote is, they are the most complete one-stop college recruiting network ever. Why do I even talk about this? Because there's a lot of young guys out there, young ladies out there, maybe they're playing softball, and other sports they're playing as well, whether it's basketball or hockey, it doesn't matter. There's statistics and measures and video for everything. And taking the data and crunching the data and coming up with something that says, okay, now you're attractive to the next level. This particular college wants these traits from their players. Well, these organizations, 2-4 Sports and Stars and Stripes, they work together and bring a complete package. They send it out it's like 3 times a year. They send the data out to the college coaches for the players that are out there. And let's face it, the coaches, they get inundated with information from everywhere. But if you have the authority for testing and recruiting, it's primarily the quantitative testing, all the measures. Let's face it, you go to the organizations that provide clear and defined roadmap, and they actually assist the players in getting to the next level. And they basically do it by utilizing skill testing, objective scores, and the world's largest interactive sports recruiting network to promote each of the athletes through their athletic index. And then they basically match the colleges with that index based off their strength of schedule, etc., what they're looking for, whether it's Division 1, 2, 3, or junior college level. The reason I tell you this is because this is an organization that helps kids. I wish I had that opportunity when I was a kid. And I look at the partners that are involved in this organization. These are guys that have done it. Man, they've hit home runs in Yankee Stadium. They've done the right thing. Years and years in the big leagues and develop young kids from ages 8 all the way up through 18 and even in college in many cases. So there are people out there that can help you or your kids. If you have kids that are playing ball, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, hockey, softball, there are measures for all of this, and the 2-4 Sports Network and their family of companies can help those kids get to where they need to get to. There's no question. I've seen it firsthand. Now, what we do here on the Sports Circus is we try to help these organizations because they try to help the kids, whether it's here in Las Vegas, Southern California, New York, Chicago, Miami, it doesn't matter. What they do is they help everybody, and they give everybody a shot to get to a level where they can be effective and get to where they want to get to. Now, what we're going to do at the Sports Circus is we're going to offer a free 30-day trial to their services for your kids that are out there. And you're going to use promo code The Sports Circus, and you're going to email you're going to email info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Send us your information. We'll get you or your child into the system, and we'll get them on the path to getting to where they need to be, whether they're seeking a scholarship or they want to go to this Big Ten school, this Pac-12 school, this Big 12 school, this Southeast Conference school, D1, 2, or 3, or junior college school. It doesn't matter. 2-4 Sports Network family of companies can do that for you or your son or daughter. No question. I've seen it. It's happening every day. It's happening today. You need to get in touch. Also, you can reach us at 702-970-9919 if you want to speak direct. So that's my spiel on baseball recruiting. I got to tell you, it's really a good situation. But the games we'll go back to for the NFL. I have to finish with this because the NFL is going to be fun this week. If you're a betting person, I think you've got some great games to watch. Scott, you and I talked about it. I think the Pittsburgh game is probably going to be the most predictable game outside of New England. And now the question is, will New England sit back a little bit? Will the weather play a little bit into the hands of one team or another? Probably not. But 16, 17 points, that's a lot to cover versus just winning the game. And if Pittsburgh wins the game, they're going to basically just win the game. I don't care whether they win by 2, 3, 5, 10, 20. It doesn't matter. I mean, if history repeats itself, Pittsburgh's probably going to have a real nice day against Kansas City. And Kansas City is a good balanced team. They really are. You have a good offense, very adequate offense. I wouldn't say a good offense. Alex Smith doesn't make a lot of mistakes with the ball. You have a pretty good running game. Passing game is adequate. Defense is good. Special teams is really good. So I would look for possibly a 24-13 sort of a game out of that one. But it's going to be fun and entertaining. And I look for a very slippery ball. So you're going to see some fumbles. You'll see probably, I'm going to guess, 2 turnovers in that game. It'll be very exciting. Scott, I think you should watch it. And certainly tune into the Dallas-Green Bay game. That also is going to be pretty entertaining. Just don't think Green Bay can get over the hump and beat Dallas this time. And anyway, tune in tomorrow to Saturday's show with me, the Human Cannonball, Sideshow Bob, and Toy Cook from the 49ers, AM 830. Or I'm sorry, at, what the hell is it? I just fucked the whole thing up. It's done, man. The clock is over.